More likely you are 70, he said to Munni. You always forget that you mentioned a birthday 5 weeks ago, when you wanted castor oil for your holy bath. At this, Munni unobtrusively means without being noticed, without being seen, rose and moved off. He later told his wife, that scoundrel, that rogue, would not give me anything. So go out and sell the drumsticks for what they are worth. He flung himself down in a corner to recoup, to get back from the fatigue of his visit to the shop. He had not eaten much. He is tired after going to the shop, so he sat down in the corner of the hut. His wife said, You are getting no sauce today, nor anything else. How can I make? I don't have the things to make the sauce. I can't find anything to give you to eat. Fast till the evening. Don't eat anything till the evening. It will do you good. Take the goats and be gone now. She appears a bit rude, but actually she is very concerned and she is very caring about Munni, her husband. Take the goats and be gone now, she cried, and added, Don't come back before the sun is down. Come only after the sun sets in the evening. He knew that if he obeyed her, she would somehow conjure up some food for him in the evening. If he listened to her, if he did not make her angry, somehow she would get some food for him. Only he must be careful not to argue and irritate her. He should not make her angry. He should not provoke her. Then somehow she will get some food for him. That is, by working in some houses and all, as a maid, she will get some money and she will buy food. Her temper was undependable in the morning. She usually gets angry in the morning, but improved by evening time. By evening time, she becomes calm, quieter. She was sure to go out and work, grind corn in the big house, sweep or scrub somewhere, and earn enough to buy foodstuffs and keep a dinner ready for him. The big house is the house which we came across at the beginning of the lesson. So Munni's wife will go there, she will sweep the floor, she will wash the vessels, and she will get money in the evening to buy the things for their livelihood, and earn enough money to buy foodstuffs and keep a dinner ready for him in the evening. Unleashing the goats means untying the goats from the drumstick tree. Munni started out, driving them ahead and uttering weird cries from time to time in order to urge them on. In order to make the goats move forward, he uttered strange cries. He passed through the village with his head bowed in thought. He is thinking. He did not want to look at anyone or be accosted. He did not wish anyone to greet him, to wish him, to talk to him. Accosted means greet him. A couple of cronies lounging in the temple corridor hailed him. Cronies, idle people, lazy people, just want to talk about others. They called out to him. A couple of cronies, lounging means resting, in the temple corridor hailed him, called out to him. But he ignored their call. But he did not listen to them. He walked on. He did not bother about them. The shopman had said that he was 70. At 70, one only waited to be summoned by God. To be summoned by God means he is referring to death. 70 years is a long age for him. He has lived a long time. He is waiting for God to call him back. When he was dead, what would his wife do? When he was dead, what will happen to his wife? So both of them are concerned and caring about each other. They had lived in each other's company since they were children. They had got married very early, when they had almost been children. He had been told on their day of wedding that he was 10 years old and she was 8. This is child marriage. He got married at 10 and his wife was only 8 years old. Progeny none. Progeny means children. None means he does not have any children. Perhaps a large progeny would have brought him the blessing of the gods. If he had lot of children, maybe God would have blessed him. If he had plenty of children, God would have blessed him. Only on the outskirts did he lift his head and look up. Outskirts, he came to the border of the village. He urged and bullied the goats until they meandered along to the foot of the horse statue on the edge of the village. Meandered means wandered. He is trying to make the goats feed on the grass, graze on the grass, and making them go to places where there is grass. Now he is at the pedestal at the foot of the horse statue. He sat on its pedestal for the rest of the day. The advantage of this was that he could watch the highway and see the lorries and buses pass through the hills, and it gave him a sense of belonging to a larger world. Sitting on the pedestal, he could see all the vehicles going up and down, and this gave him a belonging that he felt as if he belonged to a bigger world, to a better world. The pedestal of the statue was broad enough for him to move around as the sun travelled up and westward. Or he could also crouch under the belly of the horse for shade. If the sun was too hot, he will lie down, he will sit or lie down under the belly of the horse. The horse was nearly life-size. This is a statue, a clay horse, but it was life-size. It was like a real horse, molded out of clay, made out of mud, clay, baked, burnt, and brightly colored. And it reared its head proudly, prancing on its forelegs in the air. Prancing means lifting up the front legs of the horse in the air and flourishing its tail in a loop. Loop is a curve. So the horse will make its tail like a curve when it lifts its front legs, forelegs, the front legs. Beside the horse stood a warrior, a soldier, with scythe-like mustachios, long curved mustachios like a scythe. Bulging eyes, huge eyes, aquiline nose, sharp curved nose. The horse itself was said to have been as white as adobe washed sheet and had on its back a cover of pure brocade. The back of the horse was covered with brocade, embroidered cloth, embroidered with silver thread or other colorful threads, of pure brocade of red and black lace, matching the multicolored sash around the waist of the warrior. Sash is a broad belt which is tied around the waist of the warrior. But none in the village remembered the splendor, as no one noticed its existence. The horse statue had been there for a long time, so nobody even bothered to look at it. None of the villagers even bothered to look at it. Even Munni, who spent all his untouched even by the young vandals of Munni, who spent all his waking hours at its foot, never bothered to look up. Munni is resting on the pedestal of the statue, but he did not even look at the statue. He didn't worry about it, he didn't care about it. It was untouched even by the young vandals of the village who gashed tree trunks with knives and tried to topple off milestones. Vandals is people who destroy things, loafers, people who have no, young people who don't have any work, just wandering about in the village, destroying things and making comments about others. They destroyed the trunk of the tree, but they did not destroy this horse statue at all. They left it untouched. They cut the trunks of the tree with their knives. They spoiled the trees, but they did not destroy the statue at all. Milestones, you don't have it nowadays, but maybe to mark 1 mile, 2 mile, the distance, how far you have travelled. Today it is usually the term is kilometers. And try to topple off means destroy of milestones and inscribe lewd designs on its walls. They used to scribble lewd designs, not decent. This statue had been closer to the population of the village at one time when this spot bordered the village. Now nobody is worries about this statue, nobody wants it, nobody cares for it. Muni sat at the foot of the statue watching his goats graze in the arid soil among the cactus and lantana bushes. Cactus is plants which grow in deserts. Lantana bushes, you have it in your garden also. There are wild lantanas as well as garden lantanas. He looked at the sun. It had tilted westwards, no doubt. But it was not yet time to go back home. If he went too early, his wife would have no food for him. She told him to come only after the sunset. So if he goes home early, the food will not be ready and she will also be angry with him. Also, he must give her time to cool off her temper. She gets angry usually in the morning, but by evening her temper cools and feels sympathetic. And then she would scrounge and manage to get some food for him.